Welcome back. Okay, let's focus on another segment of the economy that's going to be critical in terms of how they handle this entire crisis. I want to focus on the agri sector. We've got Siraj Hussain, the former Agriculture Secretary, who's with us today, as well as Mr. Rajesh Aggarwal, the MD at Insecticides India. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us. Siraj, let me start off with you. Now, Rabi sowing was quite strong this time around, but the worry transfers now to harvesting. What are the kind of timelines we can look at when it comes to harvesting? What are some of the challenges that we'll have this time around, given that we're in an era of social distancing?
In several states in Western India, harvesting has already peaked. In Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, for example, harvesting has already started, and in fact, in many cases, most of the crop has been harvested. In Punjab and Haryana, we should expect harvesting in about a week's time. I think availability of labor is going to be a problem, and movement of harvesters from Punjab and Gujarat, from Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh back to Punjab. But I think these are issues which are solvable. And I'm hoping that procurement will also take place at a good level. So as far as the crops which are procured, as far as they are concerned, there should not be much of a problem. But the real problem is for the crops which are not procured.
Exactly. So take us through that, of course, in terms of what the worst case scenario is. And right now we're assuming the lockdown is ending on the 14th, but let's take into account also any possible extension. How is this going to impact, of course, both harvesting and Rabi crop output? How do we ensure that we minimize the impact on this front?
I think the overall output is not really going to be impacted because the crop has been very good. However, the prices are going to be impacted. We have already seen in many cases, because of the breaking of the supply chain, farmers have been forced to sell their crop at very cheap prices. Onion in Nashik district is selling at 3 to 5 rupees a kilogram. Milk is 10 rupees a litre down. Because what has happened is that food industry is still functioning only at a capacity of about 20 to 30%. Most of the projects, most of the plants of food industry which use agricultural products as raw material are not able to function for a variety of reasons, including this great confusion between the center and the states about what is essential, what is not essential, what is grocery, etc. So since they use agricultural commodities as the raw material, the chain is broken and the farmer is suffering.
Rajesh, I wanted to get in your take then. Could you give us a sense as to what is happening right now with the situation in India? We were talking about the worries transferring really to harvesting. What is it that you're experiencing right now with respect to the laborers, the overall timelines, and what is the situation like on ground?
Difficult situation actually, because the manpower movement has taken place, and as it was rightly being pointed out that there may be certain delays in harvest and farmer is finding it difficult to sell the crop because of the breaking of the logistics and the supply chain. So this is happening. But overall, the crop was good, Rabi, because good rains. But now thunderstorms are expected in India, which might spoil the crop a little, because this type of news has already started from some parts of country that the rain is spoiling the crop. So there are two headaches. One is to harvest, and another is to take it to the market at the right price. And even for the second crop, like the first Kharif crop is rice. Popularly, it is transplanted in India. So finding the manpower for even transplant is going to be a little difficult. So this year we may see a certain shift from the transplant to direct seeding. So this type of changes may take place, because definitely it is for sure that there will be shortage of manpower for agriculture also.
Okay, fair enough. And, say that we do see the lockdown actually ending on the 14th of April. What would be the impact on the overall Rabi crop output and harvesting?
Farmers are allowed to do the harvest, but yes, local problems are there, like police is very, very strict in many areas, so harvesting is being delayed. If it opens on 14th, yes, the things will start, but still, even if the lockdown opens, the movement is not sure, because the people who have gone down to Bihar or eastern part of UP or other eastern states, the return may be very difficult. In some other states like South India, where the manpower is local, it may be a little easier. But what I understand that South India is in a mind of looking it for a longer period actually. So this type of rumors are already there. So let's see how the things go on. But yes, the crops which are standing, they will definitely get their harvest. Maybe a little delayed.
Siraj, I wanted to get in your take, because as of now the farmers are finding it very difficult in order to sell the harvested produce in the open markets and to the government, and there seems to be quite a severe credit crunch as well in terms of inventory for the farmer level. That also seems to be rising. The mandis are drying up. So how do you think one can really overcome all of these challenges?
I think after 14th, we should see reopening of markets, mandis in phases, and in places where there have been very few or no cases of corona infection, I think we will see opening up. However, what needs to happen even before that, between now and 14th, is opening up of supply chain. You see, what happens is that unless the trucks move from the place of production to the place of consumption, or from the place of production to the factories, food companies, unless the trucks move and the labor comes back, the raw material will not be consumed. And if raw material, which is mostly the agricultural products, if they are not consumed, then prices will remain very depressed. So while the urban classes are very happy because they have been getting their vegetables, fruits, eggs and milk, delivered at home, it is the farmers who have been taking the brunt, because they are not able to sell their entire produce, and even if they are selling, they are realizing low prices. So this chain between the farmer and the food companies has to be put in order even before 14th.
Okay. Makes sense, Siraj, and that's really the core issue that we're looking at then. Thanks for pinpointing that. To take it a little further as well, given that we're actually seeing a lockdown in most of the major agri markets around the world, whether we're talking about North America, Latin America, so on and so forth, what's your initial assessment of the kind of stuck inventory that we're looking at, as well as payments, and the extent of impact on working cycles?
I think India is very well placed as far as our production is concerned. We are largely self-sufficient. Our import of palm oil has gone down because of the closure of restaurant and eating out sector. So that is not an issue. We are not really going to see any shortage as such. Shortage of production. Basically, the challenge is coming due to the disruption of supply chain. Now, as far as the credit to farmers is concerned, I think, and I'm hoping that by the time the Kharif crop is ready to be sown, the credit cycle will come back and farmers will be able to draw the money. Of course, that is a little about a month and a half away. So I'm only hoping that by that time situation would have improved.
What is the impact you see, post the lockdown and pre-monsoon? But what's the impact that you see in terms of immediate implication on inflation, for example, on demand, on suddenly the supply chain coming back online? I mean, do you see this smoothing out, or do you see perhaps further challenges in the mid to sort of close to medium term before we actually see the situation stabilize?
The demand will continue to remain suppressed, because even if the lockdown is lifted, it is unlikely that the hotel, restaurant and eating out sector is going to get back to pre-COVID days. So demand is likely to remain subdued. However, if the factories are able to resume production, at least they will be able to purchase the raw material and the prices may recover a little bit. But in two sectors, some governments have have done a good job. So, for example, the fertilizer companies are running to their full capacity, normal capacity. So, I am given to understand that there is going to be no problem as far as availability of fertilizers for Kharif crop is concerned. That is well done. Maharashtra has done a great job by providing money from the state budget to its milk federation for buying milk from farmers and convert it into butter and milk powder. I do not know about other states, whether they have extended a similar line of credit to their dairy federations, but that is how we will recover. And I think the demand will come back slowly. It will not be pre-COVID days immediately, but if we are able to smoothen the supply chain, I think both the farmers, the food markets and the consumers will benefit. And lastly, what is happening is that because of this low capacity utilization of food companies, just about 25 to 30%, we may see shortage or non-availability of processed food. For example, noodles may not be available, pasta may not be available. Somebody may say that these are not essential foods. But supposing there is a senior citizen living alone in his house, without a maid, without any help, he survives on noodle, he survives on biscuits. So this whole debate about essential, non-essential, in my view, is totally illogical, and the government should allow movement, storage, warehousing, production of all food of all kinds.
Okay. Siraj, Rajesh, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. Also critical to understand how the back end is working and how those supply challenges will be addressed. We're going to take a very quick break on that note. Back with more on the other side.